me, my anxiety is unpredictable and can come and go. This makes it harder for my friends and family to understand. I found I have certain triggers, and it's only when these are confronted I get anxious.
School was always a nerve-wracking experience. For example, the strain of holding in a cough so that I don't draw attention to myself. Or if I'm late to class, I just don't go. The fear of everyone looking at me when I walk in. Or just the sheer internal dread when a teacher starts calling on people randomly.
It makes me forget what I know. It makes me criticise myself harshly. It makes me believe it. It makes me focus on the negative. Robs me of my energy. So the thought of raising my hand in class is terrifying. So I usually wait until after class to ask my question. I think people think that by putting me in situations that trigger my social anxiety, it'll help, but on the contrary, it makes it worse. People have social anxiety because they don't feel like they're in control. So to take that away from them doesn't help.
I appreciate being included, but I hate starting conversations. When I have an opinion on a topic of conversation, I choose not to say anything because of the fear of confrontation or fear of being judged. My response is usually, I don't know, or I don't mind, because I feel too embarrassed to share what I actually think. I often feel out of place with people that I feel comfortable with, not knowing how to talk to them, so I just sit there and wait for them to say something. Even physical interactions, as little as a hug, I feel so awkward and don't know what to do.
People's reactions can vary from fight, flight, or freeze. Understanding how someone reacts within a triggering situation is so important because it can help calm them faster, get them out of this state. Rage and irritability, stuttering, hypersensitivity, or not talking at all can all be possible indications. In my case, my system goes into a kind of shutdown during which I can't speak and breathing becomes a difficulty. Imagine you have a big jigsaw. All the tiny pieces are fitting together and the picture is clear. You know what's going on. It makes sense. Now imagine someone comes along and clumsily dumps a whole new set of pieces on your picture. Suddenly it's obscured. The pieces are totally mixed up and unorganized. You've got to start all over again, trying to find a place for these new pieces to fit and make sense. And you've only got a tiny amount of time to do it.
Even going into a shop and buying something is daunting. It's only in recent years that I've actually been able to walk down the street without panicking. Of course, I mean, eating in public, that's never a pleasant experience. I mean, I worry about what they think about what I'm eating, or how I'm eating or holding them up because I'm slower to finish. Sometimes my friends offer to order for me when we do go out, but lately I've been declining because I really want to be better at socialising. I don't want to live my life through other people anymore.
It also doesn't help talking to people on the phone. The internal panic and nervousness I get when I'm asked to call someone, no matter who it is, it's something cruel. You can't see a smile on the other end of a phone when you don't know what to say. I hate being the first one to message. I worry a lot before and after sending it, over-analysing, overthinking what I've said.
I can worry extensively for days, sometimes even weeks, depending, prior to an upcoming event. I think what has helped me is when people make plans, I have a window of escape. Sometimes I cancel last minute on social activities with friends. Sometimes I go, but if I need to leave, I have that option. I know this can be difficult, but I really do appreciate being included, even if I don't always accept. I'll give you an example. The worst feeling in the world is being in someone else's house, or just out with friends in a public place, and needing to use the bathroom, being far too self-conscious to ask where it is, or if I already know, being too self-conscious to just get up and go. So I just sort of end up sitting there, dying silently. Eventually, survival instincts kick in when sheer desperation outweighs fear.
It's worth noting that that you don't have to be shy to have social anxiety. Shyness, introversion, and social anxiety are three separate things. I mean, you can be shy and do your day-to-day tasks. People can be so outgoing and confident and still have social anxiety. And introversion, it's just a part of who you are. Introverts prefer to be on their own, but that's out of preference, not out of fear. Social anxiety, it comes from experience and gets in your way.
I do have my own techniques now for dealing with an anxiety-inducing attack. I think by having friends and family that try to understand helps so much. I know it's not easy, and I don't expect them to understand or know what to do all the time. Sometimes I don't even understand it. But anxiety is anxiety, irrespective of the circumstances that provoked it. So, just the fact that they want to try and express the patient means the world.